Okay, so this is the one Fujifilm camera that I kind of regret selling. Now, if you permit me, I'd love to tell you a quick story as to why I've come to this conclusion. So in 2019, I landed a pretty big job on a Netflix production. Now, this was big for me as I had only really just started out in my kind of filmmaking and photography business. And I landed a job as a dialect coach and as an assistant to an actor called Ray Fiennes. It was a pretty big deal for me because I just switched careers and had just entered this kind of new world and had landed this job. So anyway, let me cut to the point. I was working alongside some great people, good production, a good crew, and I became really good friends with the stills photographer. Now you can probably see where I'm going with this. We built up a very good friendship and still talk to this day. And I really learned his process and how he went about shooting this whole production. And at the time I had a camera myself. I had the GH5 as I was doing a lot of filmmaking. I was doing client work, weddings, all of that kind of stuff, but not really touching into photography yet. And throughout our time, I finally got up the courage to ask him what camera he was using. And he had two cameras and they were both the same. And it was the Fujifilm X-T3. Now, at this time, I knew absolutely zilch, nothing about Fujifilm. I was fully invested in Panasonic and I'd previously had a Canon. But some of the shots he was getting from his camera straight out, they were so good. Some of them, without any editing, he was showing me, firsthand, how beautiful some of these shots he was getting. And this struck a chord in me. And so after that shoot, I went out and I bought my first Fujifilm camera, and it was the X-T3. And this is where my love of photography just kicked in. I just fell head over heels with this camera. I took it everywhere. It was my kind of first love. And this is where I really started to craft my work in photography and started drifting away from filmmaking and making photography the priority. So as you can see, there's a little bit of a love affair with this camera, the X-T3. But after a couple of years of using it and loving it, I decided to transition and make the move into kind of their flagship camera. It just came out and I bought the X-H2S, which I'm shooting on now. And I love this camera. You know how much, if you have seen this channel, I've talked about it a lot. And it's really been an important camera for me. It does a dual system of video and photography. But to get that camera, I had to sell some gear. So I sold my GH5, all those lenses, and my X-T3. At the time, I wasn't that cut up. I was very excited to move up to the X-H2S with, all its new features. But as time has gone on and, I think about it more and more, I would love to have that X-T3 back. So before I tell you why I kind of regret selling this camera, I just want to tell you about a free preset that I'm giving away. It's called the Kodak Film preset, and it's kind of based off Kodak Film. I've been using it a lot lately, loving it, and I just want to share it with you guys. So if you're interested, head over to my website and you can download it for free right now. So the reasons why I regret it are as followed. The form factor of that thing is great. It's just a little bit smaller than my X-H2S and slightly more compact than the X Pro 3. I do also love that the LCD monitor is from the outside and has a kind of tilt. I kind of like that for photography, a bit like my X106. The resolution is absolutely fine and perfect. It's a 26 megapixel camera. It does have the old sensor and processor, but that really doesn't bother me at all because the price of this thing is very good. You can now pick one of these X-T3s up for around £500. Also, if you want to do a little bit of video work, it doesn't have any IBIS, but pair it with a kit lens, flick on that OIS, and you're still going to get some stable footage. Here's some footage from me using it in Portugal, taking some photos, and this is from the X-T3. So for what you get out of it and for the price, I really do think that this is a kind of missed opportunity not to hang on to this. I didn't get a huge amount of money for it, and I'm kind of sad that I just didn't hang on to it. But sometimes I can be a little bit impulsive and just, we all can, and we can make a decision that we sometimes regret. But Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because if you are a beginner, this camera was used on a fully fledged Netflix production, and this was only in 2019. Okay, yeah, there are many models that are now, surpassed this one, but you still need to know that this is still good enough for maybe what you want to do. Because I'm pretty sure most of you aren't shooting Netflix productions. What my friend was able to capture out of that camera was astounding. And even to this day, I look at those images and think, whoa, there's something really very good here. So if you're a beginner, don't be drawn in by the XH2 or the X Pro 3 or the X106. All of those cameras are great. Yes, I love them. I love gear, and I have a YouTube channel, so I love to review the latest gear, and that's the kind of realm that I'm in. But if you're out shooting for your own experiences, go pick up an X-T3. I really do think that this is one of the best cameras that I've had. I miss it. It would be good to have just on the shelf if I wanted to go out and take more photos. And I know by having it, I'd go out, have a great time shooting with it, and be very happy with the images that I was getting. You can really get sucked into some of the hype of some of these Fujifilm cameras, and actually some of them just aren't really worth the money. So I just want to present this video because you need to know you don't need the latest gear to be the best photographer. You just need creativity and to keep shooting, and you'll just get better. So if you love Fujifilm and you're thinking of getting a camera from them, maybe head a little bit further down. Even the X-T2 or the X-T1 will do a fab job. They're not going to maybe have a faster readout, but think about what it is that you do as a photographer, and maybe something like this might suit your needs more. Okay, thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.